Hi, I'm Jay.
I'm Heidi.
I'm Leah.
I'm Genoa.
And this is our discussion on adolescent bullying. Our mission statement for this video is to help adolescents in the community create positive communication skills that reduce bullying.
Our intended audience is for children and parents in our community, and for at school or anywhere actually. Playground bullying, school bullying.
We are going to talk about some common challenges and solutions. One challenge is the gender difference. Males and females are obviously built differently, so we think differently, speak differently, and interpret things differently.
I think women just generally use their words a lot more. They like to gossip more. They like to use social media a lot more. So a lot of bullying ends up happening that way.
Boys can be more physical. They do more moves like fighting, pushing, shoving, the more physical aspect. They also do the names calling, stuff like that.
Right. Another challenge is in the listening or perceiving things, decoding. We all think differently, and so we may believe someone meant something one way and it actually was intended a different way.
And actually, Leah brought up a good point with the slamming of the door. If somebody slams the door, it's not always because they're mad. Sometimes it's an accident, or sometimes they actually do mean to slam a door.
Right. Another challenge is nonverbal and verbal cues. If you're not listening well, you may miss some of the verbal cues, such as sarcasm or emphasis on certain words. Nonverbal would be, I'm trying to think.
Body
Body language.
tone of voice. Anything else?
Don't assume.
Don't
Don't assume.
Shyness.
Yeah.
People are shy, and they might kids might perceive someone to pick on somebody because they're shy. That's
Right.
not verbal.
Yeah.
So how can we reduce the challenges or make them easier? Like gender difference, how do we make that easier for the kids that are either being bullied or just awareness of the gender differences, or is there some way we can?
No. Being careful what you put on social media, I think, is definitely one of the big things that can help as well.
And also promote communication, to speak out. The parents must be work their good communication and lesson skills for the children, and they must be aware what their child feeling, so that the child can feel comfortable to talk what they're feeling inside. So basically, it's a good listening and good communication skills.
Yeah, definitely. The objectives, January?
Oh, yeah. The communication objective is to promote communication. They have to speak about the problem, and when the adult have open communication with the child, there the child will feel more open in talking to them about their problem, including bullying. And I can put the tips on it. So, it's just,
I think one of the things we need to do is teach our kids to just to walk away, or to laugh it off. It's been two real good tips that we've researched and read. That don't try to stay in a confrontation. Make sure, and if the confrontation keeps happening, make sure to tell somebody, like your parents or teachers.
Yep.
Yeah. That'd be very
And
important.
also, you learn how to respect and respect kindness, so that they can respect you. How do I put that together? That one. Respect other people so that they can respect you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So respect other people's differences.
Right.
Maybe to teach more communication skills to your children. So like, if you are shy, maybe you have to go talk to somebody, or you have to talk to the person who's bullying you, let them know, hey, I have feelings too. And just because I don't know you, I might be a little shy,
Yep.
but you are hurting me.
Mm-hmm. And for parents as well, also making sure that you listen to your children too. Very key. If they're reaching out for you, you need to make sure that you are doing your job as a parent or as an authority figure, and making sure that you are listening to them and listening to what they have to say. Definitely.
I think one of the things that we need to do as parents and as a community is to, promote awareness on bullying in your community. Have neighbors talk to one another. And start a lecture maybe at your church, have different church groups. Social media is a good thing to teach people about bullying in your community. And just promote awareness. Awareness on bullying is really, I think, one of the big issues that we have in our communities, that we don't really know exactly what's going on because kids are too afraid to explain, to speak up about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also important to remember to be a good friend. If you see someone getting bullied, please stand up for them. Go let them know that it's not their fault necessarily, or make sure they realize that typically when someone is bullying, it's because they are hurting on the inside, not because they don't like the other person necessarily.
It has to do with a lot of personal issues that are going on at home. You never really know what's going on in other people's lives.
Right.
Another aspect of bullying would be gossip. Different gossip. And another thing, like with social media, that's a real big thing these days, is social media gossip on social media. Now, bullying will also, hurt your self-esteem, your self-concept. I think learning how to deal with your problems, your self-esteem in a more positive way.
Right.
A lot of people are bulliers are, they're the ones that are actually hurting inside, the ones that aren't able to communicate properly.
And if bullying doesn't stop, you never know when it is going to stop. It doesn't always end up where a person is able to build themselves back up. It can sometimes lead the other way, which is what we are here trying to prevent. So.
Any other ways anybody can think of?
I think it's important for us to think before we speak. We may accidentally say something that would come across as bullying, and we didn't necessarily mean that. So I think we can reduce some of those instances by thinking before talking.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
The hard thing for children to understand, but I think once they do understand it, it betters everybody around them. So.
And so, just remember gender differences. Make sure that, before you perceive something as a negative thing, maybe you should find out exactly what's happening. We illustrated the door slamming type thing. And then, look for nonverbal and nonverbal cues. You never know for sure if you are bullying. Sometimes you don't realize that you were being a bully, and you can see it you know, typically in someone's face and non-verbally, you know, that you have hurt somebody, and maybe go and talk to them, say you didn't mean to do it. Make sure you talk to your children about bullying, the differences between, you know, being the bully or the bullier. I think it would be called bullier, right?
Bullier.
We made up the word.
Yeah, I'm good at that. Make sure your parents have, that actually listen to their kids, you know, and because your children sometimes try to tell you and you don't realize that what's exactly going on, you know.
Open communication is gonna be the best thing for everybody. Making sure that,
I agree.
yeah, everything is being out in the open, and parents, you're talking to your kid, checking in with them, making sure everything's good with them, and if they're not, make sure you can do something about it. Talk to them about what's going on. So,
And take action if the children open up what is the problem. You, as a parent or adult, you have to take action right away.
Right. Don't wait for it to turn into something bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the things we got from our research was basically says that, like, stand your ground, or, you know, just say stop, and if they don't stop, go find an adult or authority figure and then talk to them about the being harassed or bullied. Another one we had was just to walk away or laugh it off. I think that's it for our discussion today. I hope you all like this information video. Thank you.
Thank you.
bye!